How did the horse get there? That basically, it was imported, it was bought, there was a sales. How did it get there?
Okay, let me please turn it on. I'll show you what John Marshall showed.
Okay,
sure.
in the meanwhile, we'll have another question. We had a question, so when she brings that up, so we'll have another question. So, yeah, please, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. First of all, a very fascinating and very informational talk. I want to again acknowledge that.
Thank you.
And in any subject of this kind, there are obviously like to be different perspectives. So I think with respect to the speaker, what you should do is ask the question, and then probably the scholar should pick it up as the source to further research and publish papers and debate. Make a Saturday afternoon point for
I'm not even saying we should.
Now, the question I wanted, you pointed to the 6 different ways of looking at one of the last slides, these Vedic and Harrappan.
No, as to the future course.
So my question to you is,
lines of research as they appear to be.
In that, do you see a role for looking at the Vedic literature in the context of the logic it offers? It seems to be just as much as you mentioned about the metaphysics.
You see, I should probably be brought under the science. Logic and metaphysics. When I said Vedanta, it includes the logic, the metaphysics. Logic is part of Vedanta. Metaphysics, it reflects my interest particularly, which is scientific metaphysics. Okay, at this time. Okay, you are 100% right. And also, for example, language design. For designing special purpose languages, about 25 years ago, a student of mine and I, we designed a special purpose language for programming welding robots. It was published. It's known as a robo welder something. And unfortunately, it never occurred to us to look at the Pawninian way of construction. So it would be very interesting for people in computer science and that is computational linguistics, and people in linguistics, the Pawninian linguistics, this has happened in other, Noam Chomsky and all that. They have worked in computer science area, although he's a logician and a linguist. This unfortunately has not happened. There is a lot of talk about how NASA uses Pawnini and all that. There have just been articles saying that Pawninian grammar is wonderful and useful and all that, but I have seen no substantial implementation. I see that Pawninian grammar also as a form of logic. And this thing. So that's a very good point. I agree with you 100%.
This is
We'll get to this one. The other one which says, what is it? The other folder which says, natural history. Natural history, yeah. That. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
mostly image files.
We'll take another question.
Please.
Yeah, after.
Dr. Rajaram, you mentioned something about the symbolic language or the
symbolism,
but you didn't get into that.
No, unfortunately, because that would have to be another lecture, at least.
And if there is a symbolic coding of some words, including for ocean and horses and so on.
That is the position of some people. I'm not studied it and I'm not qualified.
Then my follow-up question is, this endless chasing of the horses and where they came from would be irrelevant to the larger understanding of the weather.
In my opinion, it is not important. It is not an important issue.
Yeah.
But of course, people are free to.
But for some people, it's a career issue to chase the horse.
It's not. No.
Everything is the horse, and I think we should move on.
What is the horse? I mean, it is. Jonathan Swift wrote one of his Gulliver's Travels on the horse, so we'll not get into that.
Yeah.
So,
or the ass, or the mare, or any of those animals.
No, whatever I'm saying is the fact that there are very few human skeletons also available, so we can't say, we cannot even estimate the population and all that. And
The absence of evidence is not lack of evidence.
No, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
Yeah.
No,
And the other way around also.
All I'm saying is, no, even that I'm prepared to concede that it's an important issue. But my point is, the preponderance of evidence that we have before us is sufficient for us, and we can interpret a vast body of literature.
Yeah.
This is the reason we feel that readings on the Indus script, I'm writing the second volume, which I promised long ago, and it will go in a different direction related to the latest script and the evolution of number system. Okay, let's I'll give you an advanced story. I'm calling it The Genes of Time, a title suggested by my father. Beautiful title.
Genes of time.
Genes of Time. On a map of Cambodia, about the no, there are. Just a second. I'm sorry to.
So history, naturalist, natural history.
This one, open that. You see, this is what John Marshall gave, 1931, and no one has contradicted it, except of course Professor Witzel, who says this will introduce later. So, and he also tells you, it tells you that there was not one horse. For example, I was a horse owner in Houston, just outside Houston in League City. I used to ride an Arabian, which we call Bo. It is quite different from the Indian horse, okay? And it is known even in medieval times, India, because it was very hard. People had not yet mastered the art of breeding the modern horse, the Arabian horses. They used to import large quantities of horses from Central Asia and Arabia. So it can be seen that there is a considerable degree with these various examples. And it is probable that the Anau horse, the Mohenjo-daro horse, which is the Harappan horse, and the example of Equus caballus in the zoological survey of India, are all type of the Indian country bred, a small breed of horse, the Anau horse being slightly smaller than horse. So we cannot say there was no horse. The fact of the matter is we have not found enough horses. And my point is that even if we find 1,000 horse skeletons, it means nothing. It is because the word Ashwa, since the Vedic, since the Vedic literature does not give a precise definition of how many. One place it says 34 ribs, and this horse does have 34 ribs. This is what is called the Indian country bred. So the fact of the matter is the preponderance of data is we are happy to interpret the Harappan civilization as Vedic and to look for a relationship between them. And even that to me, except for details, as far as we are concerned, the really interesting questions are the metaphysical one, Vedantic metaphysics, and the problem of reality in modern quantum metaphysics. And that is the one where people have shown the greatest interest. And next, to study natural history, we know so much more now about the ice age, what happened, the flooding and all that. I have a full video, sometime I can show it, and on what happened at the end of the ice age and all that. Graham Hancock produced for Channel 4 in England. I was one of the consultants for it, and I was interviewed for it. So those are the interesting questions. Yes, sir.
She had a question.